Previously, Nothram filled Iridian in on everything he'd missed while he was disintegrated, including the status of the other members of the Land of Ravens who'd come to the Abyss with them. He quickly sent a message to Valora, who was shocked and somewhat amazed that the group had managed to find a way to bring him back to life. She confirmed that they were on Palpatia, as Loph had suspected. Upon hearing that Nothram had managed to find a relatively safe place in the Abyss, Valora told them to stay put and that their half of the group would try to find them. Iridian attempted to clear some of the tensions that he immediately noticed were happening among Nothram, but he was only slightly successful, as the rest of the group all had their own worries, fears, and frustrations. Also, to the surprise of no one, most of them didn't actually want to talk. Zallar slipped off to do a ceremony in memory of his brother, while Iridian and Ceres had a quiet talk about dying. Very early the next morning, Zero had a conversation with one of the Haliphants regarding the effect the Abyss had been having on him. They told him they'd see what they could do about it. After having breakfast, Nothram headed off to speak to Mira. Mira agreed to send people to try and find Valora's group to bring them to join the others, and also explained more about the history of the layer of the Abyss that the group was on. A long time ago, the Pale Knight had made a pact as a trick that brought an entire generation of Eladrin children to the Abyss and trapped them forever in childhood. That's why there were so many children about. Mira gave the group directions to where they could find some supplies, and they set off. They went to the shed first, stopping to speak to some Aasimar on the way, when Iridian and Gwei noticed that their wings were out seemingly non-stop. They were told it took time, but there were some berries in nearby wood that might help them. Then they continued on to the shed, where they were able to get a variety of spell components, weapons, and armor. Then the two Aasimar of the group headed off to find the berries they were told about, which would allow them to keep their wings out for up to 10 minutes at a time. At Eris' request, Iridian sent a message to her sister, who confirmed that Arian's family was safe, but the rest was still a work in progress. Then the group created a hot tub and fondue pot in the backyard of the house they were staying in. As you do. Again. The next morning, the group was awakened by Sib slamming through the door, followed by Valora, Poppy, Cal, and Zallar 2.0, all of whom were somewhat quieter, and less naked, as Sib stripped out of her clothes immediately upon hearing the word bath. Valora agreed that they needed a few days of rest before setting out again. And that's where we left off.